Hello, this is another basic tutorial demonstration of how to draw polygons and boundaries for use in the Important Marine Mammal Area Regional Workshop. So this is the third video demonstration which we're doing as part of this series. The other two started with Google Earth to create polygons called KMZ files. The second workshop, the second demonstration, was with QGIS, which was a free piece of GIS software where you can download and be able to upload different types of information to create a shapefile. And then finally, this is now the C-Sketch platform online. All the participants coming to the workshop have been sent this link to be able to come onto this platform. So this is the Important Marine Mammal Areas project with C-Sketch, which has been kindly provided to us for free as a demonstration project by the C-Sketch team at the University of Santa Barbara in California, and this is the IUCN Joint Marine Mammal Protected Areas Task Force page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can very simply draw polygons in this process to be able to create and upload areas directly to us without any need to use QGIS or Google Earth or another mapping program. So this is all online. And also how you can also use information which you might already have in a spatial format, such as from QGIS or another GIS program. So what we're going to do is we're going to zoom in to this area that we've been working with. This is the Avacha Gulf in Kamchatka in Russia, and the scenario we've been working with is that this area of the Avacha Gulf may be important for foraging killer whales. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to create a new plan. So, and in this case, we're creating a new area. And very simply, you can just draw on this map. So we have, this is telling us we can actually just draw a shape. So let's just draw a very easy shape for this area. We just make a left click, and then we just keep on clicking on the left mouse button to just draw a very simple area that we might be interested in. As I've said previously, really the boundaries which you create at this point in time, they don't need to be perfect. They can be fairly coarse and draft boundaries. Usually as part of the IMA process, you'll find that the IMA Secretariat, in particular when we're going through the review process, will actually refine these boundaries based on that assessment. So you don't need to provide perfect boundaries. However, you can provide as detailed an area as you like. So when you've finished drawing this boundary, you just double click, and there we go. We have our area has been captured. So before we save our plan, which we can use later, we need to give it a name and provide some other information. I'm just going to do this very simply. We would need more information from you when we do this, but we're going to call it the Avacha Gulf Candidate IMA. This has been submitted by me, by Mike Tetley, and I am with the IUCN. Okay, and then you can contact me by my email address, which is there we go. In the summary of the submission, we've given you a number of characters you can actually fill in for this and some instructions about what we kind of want from this area. So this area is going to be important for foraging killer whales. And again, you can use it. The more information you put into here, the better it will be for experts at the workshop to be able to assess this information, and less work will be needed to be undertaking during the workshop to fill out the final forms for the process. So we're just going to keep on going on here, adding in some information. It's C2 on feeding areas. You can add any references or links to any pages of information. In this case, I think we might actually try and find a link to some information we can actually put in here. Here we go. I've got a link to one of the projects which is actually going on in this area. So here we go. Here's just a web link which you can actually send to give more information. This could also be links to peer-reviewed publications or books or other websites. And then supporting information. This can be anything from journal article citations. It could be an EndNote file or another text file that has a list of supporting references. It can also be any other kind of file. It may be the fact that actually you have a more detailed information or maps which everything is based on, and you can add that into this by just attaching any files of interest. So we can now save the plan, and there we are. We have the Avacha Gulf. But what if you actually already have an area which you can use? So you can have something more detailed. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to draw a rough boundary like this. So we can always go back to our area to edit it. So if we go and edit the area, so your design has been captured, click here to edit. If you click that, what we can actually do is, instead of drawing with these orange dots, which now that we've gone back, we can always move these around if we want to. So you can always go back and, you know, you could always be able to add a bit more detail if you wanted to, or correct some errors when you've been drawing lines around here. Or alternatively, you can upload a shapefile. So as we saw from our previous demo, a shapefile is a type of mapping layer file which we have in GIS programs, and we made a shapefile in QGIS. So if we just click here, we can then actually just be able to drag and drop a shapefile into this area. So I have a shapefile, so I'm going to drag and drop that here, and there we are. So this is the shapefile which we actually made for the Avacha Gulf in the QGIS demo, the number 2 in this 3-part series of demonstrations. So we're going to include this, which actually includes a kind of a cutoff for the 300-meter contour based on the Jebco bathymetry atlas. So if we now save plan, oh no, just to go and show you that things can actually go wrong. Let's upload this shapefile again. Okay, there we are. Right. Oh, there we are. Yes, there we are. Okay then. Sorry, sometimes it takes a little bit of a little bit of perseverance, but there you go. So we now have that final area. We're going to save that plan, and yes, there we are. Okay then, so we now have that final IMA area which we have here. So when you actually go through to participate, so here you can actually make your plans. You can share your areas for other people to comment. You can look at some of the other C-Sketch demonstration projects which we have here. You can see the sections on the IMA selection criteria and any questions. You can place your IMAs on here, and some people have already uploaded areas which they've discussed at previous workshops. And also you can see here areas where you can submit your IMAs for review. So for example, here's a survey you can actually take to upload your area. Here we go. So we're now filling this out. What we can actually do is we can actually get our feature from our plans, which we've already made. I've already created the Avacha Gulf. There we are. So we have our area here, and then we'll just add in the same information as we were using before, which we have on our Avacha Gulf. So I'm just going to copy some information over. Again, you can see the limit of characters which you can actually submit up to. I'm just doing this quickly just to show you how we can actually add in this information and create some boundaries. So I'm just adding in a very small amount of information. We'd really recommend that you actually add much more detail here because then it'll be easier to assess this information at a regional workshop. And then again, any other kind of references or links or information you wish to add. And then all you need to do is to submit that response, and there you go. It's now submitted to the task force, and the IMA Secretariat will now be able to utilize and be able to have all of that information for any proposals which are being made. So that was a very quick tutorial in how to use the C-Sketch platform. There'll be more questions and answer sessions on how to be able to use this platform during the actual workshop, and yeah, there you are. So any questions you have during the workshop in the GIS rooms, please let us know, and we'll be able to help you be able to bring together your boundaries for any IMAs you want to submit. Okay, thank you.